Congratulations on another great evening. Can you just talk about the night from your point of view as it's played out?
I tell you that fight that AJ had was one of the most exciting fights I've seen in a long time. It was a scrap, and that kid came to bring it, and he told me he was going to bring it, and so he did. And I think it was a good work for AJ. I think he needed a fight like that, and he did great, and it was entertaining. It was a lot of fun. And now AJ gets to move on and take it to the next level.
You had several lightweights, AJ, Islamamedov, Spike. I mean, what does that lightweight Grand Prix look like? Just even now in October, we're not even close to 23.
Here's one right here. There he is, Patricio. Yes, of course. So, I mean, listen, we have amazing lightweight division now, and you forgot to mention Masayev as well. That guy is a killer. And so, we started looking at our fights for next year, our matchups. I think we got some great fights coming up. I think that starting with Dublin last week, that was such an amazing event. If you guys have never been to a fight in Dublin, it is really something special. And so, the fight with Yoel Romero, Melvin Manoff, that was special. I think Benson Henderson looked like he was 25 years old again. And so, when I started talking to our team internally, we said, look, we think the lightweight division makes the most sense because of the names you just talked about, like with, Patricio and Usman, and which they're fighting, by the way, as you know, on the 18th of November. But, whoever wins, they'll go into the tournament as a champion. But, it'll be, a year-long event again, and whoever wins the end of the tournament takes home the $1 million bonus check, and will become the world champion. So, to me, there's a lot riding on the line, and I think we have a division that's going to, that we're going to put together a lot of interesting matchups and just amazing fights.
We obviously have to talk about the featherweight champion, Patricio Pitbull. Mm-hmm. I know the fans, probably wanted a finish to close out the show in that way, but once again, he showed just how good he is. Just what are your thoughts on his performance and then obviously his run in total for his career here in Bellator?
Yeah, he's amazing. I mean, listen, he was making it happen even before I got here. He's been, part of the building of this company, and he's put on so many great fights over his career. And I was talking to John McCarthy, just had a little chat with him in the cage when he finished interviewing him. I said, this guy really should be, nicknamed the sharpshooter because he throws punches and bunches, and man, when they come super hard and they're super accurate. And Adam Borch is a guy that is a world-class kickboxer, fought people at the highest level, and I think Patricio, just took his striking away even, So to me, when you reach a certain level of let's say experience or talent or whatever you want to call it, that's a fighter can do that, and I think you could just see the difference in the level between the two athletes at a certain point. So, he's got a lot of great fights ahead of him. He said he wants to go down to 35 and fight the bantamweight champ. Let's see if that's reality. I know AJ wants to fight him again. So there's a lot of great fights ahead for Pitbull.
I did want to ask a final question. Have you broached the subject with Islamamedov and Usman Nurmagomedov? Obviously, close teammates. If you have to pick one, who's making it into the Grand Prix?
Well, I think that, let's see how Usman looks on the 18th. I mean, obviously if he wins, he's definitely going to move forward. And, maybe that's like something we'll have to work out internally and talk to the camps and coaches and, talk to everybody involved. But it's nice to have choices like that, right? It's nice to have choices like that. So that's just another statement in why we want to do a fight or a tournament at 155.
And then just briefly, you have we had Spike Carlyle, who's been allowed to fight in Ryzen. You have Islam, who's been allowed to fight for Eagle FC. How big is it to have those fighters have that freedom that if they really want to, they are allowed to, branch out a bit?
You know what? I think every situation is a unique opportunity. And if the opportunity is right and it makes sense, even if sometimes we're at risk as well. And, like the situation with MVP, we don't always win. I mean, sometimes, it works the other way. And we know that going into it. But, there's opportunities that come sometimes to these athletes. And like I said, we evaluate case by case. And there's certain opportunities where you can't just say. There's no way I could say no because it's just such a great opportunity for them, and it's life changing, and we say go for it. But we do evaluate them from time, each one individually because there are times we've said no, and some of them you guys don't even know about where they've come to us and said, hey, you know what? No, because you're putting yourself in a really bad situation where it's not even they're putting themselves in a bad situation where it's going to have a bad outcome, and the only person that's going to lose is you and us, and it's not fair. So we've said no before, but sometimes we say yes, and it's about a 50-50.
Scott, right here. Very unfortunate outcome in the Pico Kennedy fight. Do you have any update on Aaron Pico and what happened to him?
Right now, I don't. But do you guys have anything for Pico? Yeah, he's at the hospital right now, isn't he? Yeah, he's at the hospital looking at his shoulder. So, the doctor that went into the cage said we think he has a broken clavicle. So, I think that's not been proven yet, or there's the facts haven't come out. So some people say he just had his shoulder pop out and it didn't pop back in properly, but it is unfortunate because you can see I could see I think where Aaron was taking this fight, and I think he was on his way to have a really great performance, and once the shoulder popped out it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, I was just building off of that. How unfortunate is it for him specifically? He was on a really good tear. He's coming back home for a fight here in Southern California, and then to have it happen that way. Can you just sort of speak of what you feel for him?
Yeah, I feel bad for him because I know he really wanted to have a victory here, and he wanted to have a great performance, and he was on his way to do it. I think you guys all saw it. I saw it, and it's just you just couldn't even fend the guy off after a certain point. And this is nothing to take away from Jeremy because obviously he's a top-ranked fighter. But I just think that Aaron was looking really good up to the point where his shoulder got popped, and then the tide turned, and he just started taking damage. And I think that the doctor was correct in stopping the fight because we don't want Aaron to get hurt. We don't want anybody to get hurt, and it's something that he'll have another day. And so we're going to let him rest, heal up, and then we'll bring him back when he's ready.
Do you think that's a fight that has to be run back?
Oh yeah, I'd like to run that one back for sure. I'm sure Aaron would too. But let's see how far. This puts Jeremy in a different position now. Now he can advance and move forward. So let's see how when he's ready. He might be ready way before Aaron's ready. So timing is going to be an issue, but we're going to give him opportunity to move forward and fight tougher guys. And Aaron's going to have to go back to the drawing board and go get healthy. And then we'll have him back. But as soon as the doctors say he's good to go and he feels like he's ready to go, we're definitely going to have him back.
And AJ McKee tonight, coming back from the loss to Pitbull in the last fight, what did he show you tonight specifically with the type of matchup that he had with Spike Carlyle? Because Spike Carlyle really took it to him and he weathered it.
Yeah, I think that Hoist Gracie said something to me. He said, you learn a lot about yourself when the fighter's coming at you like that, the opponent's coming at you like that. And I think it tested him. And I'm sure AJ was shocked in the very beginning, like, this guy's coming at me, he's throwing bombs. And, it was one of the most exciting rounds I've seen, in MMA in that first round. So to me, it was, it was a spectacular win in a lot of different ways because I don't think AJ's fought a kid that's just been on him and on him and on him and on him and can grind it out too. And he proved that he could fight at 55 and hold the weight. So I think that there was a lot of good outcomes for this fight for AJ.
And then the last one from me, specifically tonight, you never like to hear fans booing during any fights, specifically during the main event. Not really what you want to hear. What you want to hear from the fan base. What did you think of the main event tonight, and specifically with regard to Patricio? And would you like to see anything different from him in the cage?
Listen, I think that he fought. I think he fought how he felt he needed to fight to win the fight, and I think Adam's dangerous. I think Adam's a very good striker, and he to me it looked like he was pacing himself a little bit, but. At the end of the day, I think some of those boos. Let's face it. This is AJ's hometown, and so of course, they're going to have this feeling towards Pitbull. So I think you're seeing some of that, and you're hearing some of that. And it's unfortunate, but they love AJ here, and this is, like I said, his fan base, and I don't think they've forgotten the second fight yet. So, a year and a half ago, AJ won the $1 million, and he was riding high, and he had just knocked out Pitbull, and Pitbull in San Jose came back and won a decision. So I think a lot of fans that love AJ are naturally going to hate Pitbull and have a negative feeling towards him.
Hey Scott, how's it going?
Good.
Good. This is MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio. I just want to say, how does it feel to put on a star-studded event like this?
I tell you, I mean, I've been a part of a lot of great fights. I feel in my career, and some I was just working when I was working for K1. We had so many great moments. I've watched so many great fights, and in Strikeforce we had so many great fights in that company, and I think this is the one. This is the one that you kind of checks the box. Like, this is something that, if you're a fight fan, you come to an event like this and you get to see it all, man. You get to see some spectacular fights, some tactical fights, some good submissions. Unfortunately, we had an injury early on tonight with a gentleman that checked the leg kick, and basically I think he had a spiral fracture on his leg. But it's something that that when you look back on the evening, I think we had something for everybody. But this is why I keep promoting people. Somebody asked me the other day, said, Ariel Hawani asked me, he said, hey, are you thinking about retiring? I go, as long as I love what I do, which I do, and I think I'm making a difference, which I think we are, I'm going to keep doing it. And tonight was a very entertaining fight. I had a lot of fun watching the fights tonight as a fan, and I'm going to keep rolling.
Speaking about making a difference, I mean, you've been a true pioneer in the sport. I mean, a trendsetter, if that being said. You're not scared to push the limits in that. Would you see your guys' organization opening up to maybe like a 165 weight class? Or would you even be open to maybe some open martial arts mixed competition to get some even more entertaining fighters in there, maybe some YouTubers?
Well, I tell you, we haven't talked about doing any YouTube fights, but as far as the weight class, if the whole industry got together and said, look, we'd be better off having more weight classes or changing the weight classes, I think everybody has to do it, not just us. But I think that the UFC would have to do it. We would have to do it. ONE FC would have to do it. Ryzen might have to do it. It's like, because it's not fair for the athlete to, fight in lightweight in one weight class here, then he goes and fights over there. It's a different weight class. I think that he should be, have some type of symmetry among all the organizations. So if that's possible, and that had to be, let's say, brought on by the athletic commissions, right? And if that was a real thing, we would support it. Why not? I mean, to me, sometimes I think that the weight classes are too big of a difference, and a 10-pound gap, that's a lot of weight. In boxing you have 3 divisions, in that 10-pound gap. So, something to think about for the future.
We got an update from Pico there.
Okay, so Aaron's shoulder popped back in. It's not broken. Seeing a specialist Tuesday, wants a rematch right away, and he's in good spirits. So that's Aaron Pico's story. But I appreciate it, guys, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.